Hello guys, it's Bino123 and I'm back with another r/entitled parents. Let's get straight into the video. This is titled, EP wants us to play child-friendly music. Hi, this is my one encounter with an EP. Hope you guys like it and first post on Reddit, so some fanfare I guess. So, little background cause there isn't too much to tell. A few years ago, I was in a band with some friends. We mostly did cover of stuff like Kaiser Chiefs, Franz Ferdinand, Oasis, etc. Just Brit rock and stuff we like with the occasional original song thrown in. We're not spectacular but nothing shitty through the bed. We didn't really do much in the way of shows, just local things like, oh, our secondary school wants a band and we're graduates, and just playing in the pub near here in exchange for beer. Overall, it was a decent gig and just a bit of fun. We go to a show at a local pub now. They do allow kids in, but after 9 PM they do request that anyone with children leave and it becomes 18 plus for the night, because they expect people to drink and stuff. At 9 PM they cut off food service to try and coerce families out, and if they don't leave by 9:30 they're usually told to leave, and it's normally quite peaceful. I never saw anyone take umbrage with the rules until one night. So there's a family who enter at 8:55 PM. Mother, father, a 5-year-old I think, and a baby in the pram. Now, our show was advertised clearly outside. Tonight, 9 PM, band, free entry, so pretty clear. The EM of the family decided to order a big dinner for their children, which they are told the kitchens are shutting in 5 minutes, it's not worth it, etc. But they keep going on about how it's not 9 PM and blah blah blah. So the staff do shrug and go fine and prepare some food. So we start playing at about 9:05, give or take, playing our normal set of stuff which isn't explicit or anything, it's just music. So for 15 minutes we are playing loudly and the EP's baby starts crying. I don't know if it was our fault or not, but the issue comes when we cover a particular song, Michelle by Franz Ferdinand. It's a very, very, very gay song, but we like it and well, some of us are gay, so fuck it. We start singing and it's essentially a semi-explicit love song about wanting to shag a dude on a dance floor, and oh my god, the look on this 30-something woman's face. If looks could kill, I'd charge her with war crimes. Once the song is done, she gets up and storms over to us. EP, how dare you play music like that? It's obscene. There are children here. Me, excuse me? It's just part of the normal set list and no one else has issues with it, sorry. At this point, the drummer and bassist are giggling like idiots. EP, it's obscene and you're trying to expose my child to homosexuality. Me, no, we're not. We're just, EP, cutting me off. No, you will let me finish. Your music, she said music in the same way most of us would say tapeworm, is obscene and should not be allowed in a family establishment like this. Now, everybody is looking. They're used to us taking about 30 seconds to talk to someone or have a quick drink of something in between songs, but this is something else. Before I respond, the bartender, I think he was the owner too actually, can't remember, stepped in. Ma'am, you're interfering with the entertainment, and some other things about not having children, something about being dickish to the waiters, staff, etc. They argue back and forth and back and forth, and oh my god, she eventually leaves with her family but hisses that they've lost a customer for life. We did eventually go back to play at the bar a few times before university started and the band broke up. I don't even get who eats that late. If you have children, why are you eating dinner around 9? That's just obscene. This one's titled, EP is mad, I got a lead in a school play. So, picture this, it's the 8th grade, my last year at the school I've gone to for 10 years, pre-K to 8th. It's a modest school, so almost everybody knows each other, plus parents. EP is a total PTA mum, is one of those people who spends way more time than necessary setting up fundraisers and visiting her kids in class. Not that that's super important to the story, but I felt I should set the scene for you all. Our school has a middle school play every year. This year was Snow White, and I usually don't audition cause stage fright. However, all of my friends were, so I supposed I would tag along too. I read a couple of the parts, just for shits and giggles. Lo and behold, the casting list comes out and I'm cast as the evil queen, which is pretty dope, especially considering the role with the second most lines in the play. I worked hard for about 2 months, practicing and learning my lines and blocking, and even learned to stay in character when in a scene with my friends. Hard to do for me. It gets near the performances and we're having our last few rehearsals before dress rehearsal. There are now some parents of kids in the play, including EP, watching us and helping set up stuff. While I'm on stage, I hear EP mutter, EP's daughter should have been the evil queen. I don't get why she wasn't. I don't think much of it. EP's kid is cast as one of the dwarfs and she seems happy with her role, so I don't worry that I'm breaking any hearts. The day performances with the classes of kids go fine, but then comes the night performance. During one of my few moments where I can look out onto the crowd, now consisting only of families of kids in the play, I see that EP is sitting right in the front row, staring at me like she was already rearing for my eventual death at the end of the play. I get a little spooked, but everything goes fine. The performance goes off without a hitch until the curtain call. I come out for the curtain call and the crowd is applauding as they have before, and I even hear a few whoops from my excited family in the front row, but my ears determine one other thing, a loud boo coming from the front row on the opposite side of where my family is. I look over and see none other than EP proudly booing me as loud as she possibly can, every once in a while looking behind her as if imploring the crowd to join her. It feels like a bad Parks and Rec bit. I'm honestly not sure if anyone else caught it, but I just found it entertaining to no end that this woman felt the need to boo a child because of a casting I had no control over. I hate parents like this. They just always get involved and don't let teachers do what they want. Like, your child is fine with her role, so why are you getting all mad and booing at a child? Like, parents mollycoddle the kids so much to the point where they're unable to do anything without their parents. And as parents, you're never going to be able to be around them all the time. So just let them do what they want and let them grow as a person, and then, you know, get old. Guys, this one's going to be the last one of the episode, and it's titled EM Demands My Seat Because She Can't See My Disability. So, I have a severe social anxiety and I'm currently waiting to have an autism diagnosis. When I get extremely stressed, I get a sharp pain in my right side which stops me from walking long distances and sometimes even just walking at all. I had a doctor, psychiatric doctor for mental health appointed, which makes me super anxious since I have to repeat the same stuff about how basically I'm still in the same position as always and I am still not getting proper help with certain stuff. Me and my mum get a taxi there, which drains my energy a fair amount, but I deal with it since it's way more better than a bus. We enter the clinic and find that it's busier than usual. There are 10 seats in a small room and 5 people were already occupying them, and them being adults, they were waiting for their children to come out from being seen. I sat at the end near the door where I always go to when I enter. My mum checks me in at the reception, and so now that's all that's left to do is to wait to be called. These doctors are usually early with their patients, and I can't remember a time where I went in and wasn't seen at least 15 minutes before our scheduled appointment. So I wasn't too worried about the waiting schedule. My pain was slowly getting worse, so I was trying to focus and read my book when a loud woman came into the office. She had a pram with her and a son who I assume is about 12 or 13, as he was wearing a local secondary school uniform. When she came in, she immediately started banging on the glass of the receptionist. They have a glass screen that they open when someone arrives, but shut it when they don't need to talk to anyone. Told the lady that her son was here giving no information apart from his name. You need to go through addresses and phone numbers and also prove who the carer of a parent is, which made her even angrier since they didn't know who he was and that he is the most important client they ever have. Quotes from the entitled mother herself. She gave up and told them all the necessary details, signed in and gave her identification, then walked towards her son, who in the meantime had sat in the chair next to me. There was no other chairs next to him. The chairs were in 2 rows of 4 and a pair right by the doctor's entrance. Me and my mum were sat in the middle of the 4. The son sat next to me. 2 people had already collected their kids by the time she had finally told the reception who she was and confirming who her son was, and I assumed she would sit in the 2 paired seats so she would be near her son and have space for the pram. Nope, she walked straight up to me, leading to the following encounter. EM, entitled mum, me, me, mother, my mum. EM, excuse me, dear, you're sitting in my seat. So can you move over a couple? Now, I was in a lot of pain and at this point I didn't want to move since I wouldn't be going in soon. Me. Well, I was here first, so EM. Well, I know dear, but I need to sit next to my son. He won't sit next to anyone other than me since he has a really bad autism and hates being touched and near other people. Mother. Look, my daughter was here first and he didn't seem to have any problem sitting next to her, so why don't you just sit over there? Pointing to the 2 separate chairs. EM, I don't know if you heard, but we are very important clients. Yes, very important. So important that the receptionist didn't know who you were. And he has super bad autism. I deserve to sit next to my son. He's extremely smart and sat next to you knowing that your brat would move for me. Mother, look, my daughter also has autism, but that doesn't mean that I have the right to be an arsehole for her sake. Same goes for you. Plus, she is in a lot of pain caused by her disability and moving is very hard for her, so let her sit there and leave her alone. EM, disability? She doesn't have any disability. She's not blind or in a wheelchair and she doesn't even look disabled. She doesn't have one. This confused me since she literally just said that her son had autism. Like, girl, your son has a disability just like I do and you would know how much pain autism can cause because your son is goddamn autistic. The son had noticed the situation and headed towards the 2 seats to end the situation. EM tried to stop him, but he shook her off and sat by the wall. EM sat next to him, huffing about what happened and telling her son off for moving when we were the ones who were supposed to move. The doctor called us in about 10 minutes later and we had the meeting like usual. Whilst I did have that horrible experience that led me to have an anxiety attack, I found out that there was a school willing to interview me to see if I could go. I've been out of school so long and have been looking for a school willing to take me back a year, and the doctor told me that there was one who wanted to talk it over. I'm crying right now, so you guys better appreciate this, okay? Glad that it didn't end up as bad as other EM problems had, and that the son was kind enough to move. Also, I just want to say that if you are at a children's mental health clinic, please be respectful. Everyone there is tired about it. Everyone is pissed off about the waiting list and everyone there is dealing with a horrible part of their life. If you are there and you and the people in the waiting rooms probably aren't dealing with a visible disability such as blindness, deafness or mobility issues, but do know that those things can come along with mental illnesses and disabilities, just like mental issues can come along with visible disabilities. Thanks for this Reddit for letting me share this story. Whilst I intend for it to be an EM story, I just want you guys to know about this if you ever do go to a mental health clinic. And like I said multiple times before, everyone is equal. Whether your son has a disability or not, you kind of need to understand that if you are in a mental health clinic or something along those lines that the story was saying, most likely there's something wrong with everyone. And if there was empty seats, just take it. Don't try to take advantage of a child and the disability just so you can get a seat, which you don't really need because there was empty ones. Anyways guys, that's been a 1 to 3, and I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.